When I first decided to make a short film that was heavy with visual effects, I made a pretty huge mistake. And that was right after production, I got all excited about all these visual effects shots that I was going to pull off, and I just dove right into them. I just took the video file, threw it into Blender, and started going to town on those visual effects. And the huge mistake that cost me a lot of time was to not edit the footage together first. Now this here is the edit for my recent short film that I really shouldn't be calling recent because we started production almost a year ago. But if you look closely here, you'll see a lot of recurring instances of something like this, where we have this blue clip, this came right out of the camera, this came right out of the camera, and then there's this orange clip here. And I specifically set this color to orange because I knew this clip was going to be a visual effects shot. And then on top here, you can see I've put in this image sequence with this digital flag inserted, and that's the final visual effect. But what you can do before you go to all the trouble of creating the visual effect is you can just right click on a strip and set the color tag here. And I've set most of the clips that I knew I was going to be adding a visual effect to as orange. And then later on, as I edited, you can see there's some clips that are marked yellow like this. And those are ones where I realized I probably should add a visual effect, like this tracked on patch here, but it wasn't absolutely necessary for the short film to succeed because I already had something kind of working there. And those are just shots that I got to eventually towards the end of the schedule when I realized I had a little bit more time to squeeze in another shot. But this really simple technique of putting together a rough edit will save you so much time because you know exactly the number of frames that you're going to need your visual effect. You're not just hacking around in a Blender file kind of guessing how long the clip will be. If you're the editor, then you have a pretty good idea. But taking the time to edit clips together before you hop into visual effects will save so much time, especially when it comes to more complex shots. Like over here, since I exported it as a DPX sequence, I think the color is pretty whacked. But what I had to do was create a mask around her so that I could put in all this digital debris behind her. And when you're messing around with rotoscoping and masking, you really want to know how long a video clip is going to be before you dive into the visual effects. Now in this particular instance, I don't think I have the temporary edit put together anymore. This is pretty far down the line in the editing process. And by pretty far down the line, I mean this is the final edit. So there's a lot of stuff that isn't here that was there when I started editing. But as a simple point to this video, instead of just diving into visual effects, which is really exciting and fun, it's a good idea to work on a temporary edit first so you have a much better idea of what kind of visual effects you're going to need. If you found this helpful and you're interested in visual effects, I have a gift for you, and that's these seamless looping smoke assets. I found these to be super handy in a lot of visual effects situations. They really add atmosphere and life to your scene, and if you want to get your hands on these, there's a link in the description where you can get them for free. Hope you have an excellent day.